Thank you, Mr. President Trump, Your Majesty. I just want to say on your behalf that I'm a Republican and I believe you when you say that the election was stolen from you.
Folks, in these trying political times, it can be easy to get lost in the depths of despair as demagogues flout our justice system and political institutions. It's not hard to feel hopeless for a brighter future when the current reality is being fabricated for the Magadonian masses by a tyrant sitting atop a throne of lies. And with criminal convictions that seem almost meaningless in the face of Maga stupidity and gullibility, we can often find ourselves losing sight of that light at the end of the tunnel. But every now and then, a hero comes along, seemingly out of nowhere, to restore a modest modicum of faith in humanity. And today, that hero has emerged. From the deepest recesses of the internet, a verified diamond in the rough. And his name is Alan Thomson. Now, Alan here is an internet satirist with a modest following on YouTube and TikTok under the handle The System Mechanic. But today, he was launched into internet stardom with a brilliantly satirical viral takedown of Donald Trump and MAGA stupidity that has garnered over 1 million views on Twitter and has taken the internet by storm. So without further ado, allow me to play for you Alan's magnum opus entitled Crazy MAGA Loyalist Endorses Donald Trump.
Thank you, Mr. President Trump, Your Majesty. I just want to say on your behalf that I'm a Republican and I believe you when you say that the election was stolen from you. And that I believe that you didn't commit tax fraud and that you didn't commit business fraud and that you didn't embezzle millions of dollars from your Trump Foundation charity or scam your university students out of millions of dollars. I believe that. And I believe that you didn't cheat on your wife with a porn star and a Playboy model, and that you didn't pay the porn star $130,000 to make sure she didn't tell anyone about it right before the 2016 election.
Truly incredible how he is able to so adeptly step into this character that he has coined MAGA Morty in order to brilliantly encapsulate the sheer number of insane things that MAGA morons must disbelieve and discredit in order to hold on to their distortion that Donald Trump is a decent human being. And believe me, the list goes on.
And that you didn't sexually assault a woman in the dressing room of a department store. And that you didn't conspire to steal the 2020 election by creating false slates of electors. And that you were not complicit in the attempted hanging of your vice president. And that you did not commit child rape with Jeffrey Epstein.
It's truly incredible the state of blissful ignorance these MAGA supios must live in order to believe that despite Donald Trump being so chummy with Jeffrey Epstein and riding on his private jet multiple times, he had absolutely nothing to do with whatever was going on behind the scenes.
And you did not sexually harass over 25 women who came forward accusing you, and that you really didn't enter the Miss Teen USA changing room where girls as young as 15 years old were undressed.
Well, I'll tell you the funniest is that I'll go backstage before a show.
Yes.
And everyone's getting dressed and ready and everything else. And, you know, no men are anywhere. And I'm allowed to go in because I'm the owner of the pageant, and therefore I'm inspecting it. You know, I'm inspecting. I want to make sure that
like
everything is
doctor.
good.
You're there.
Yeah, the dress. Is everyone okay? You know, they're standing there with no clothes.
And I believe you. I just do. I don't believe that you stole classified documents, hid them in your bathroom, and obstructed attempts to get them back by the government. I don't believe it for one sec. And I believe you did not extort Ukraine to interfere in an election in 2020 and encourage Russia to help you win the 2016 election. I don't believe that. And I believe you did not actively undermine the nation's response to a once-in-a-lifetime pandemic and let a deadly disease spiral out of control for months. I don't believe it.
Excellent point, Morty. Everyone with a MAGA lobotomy remembers how diligently Donald Trump worked to find innovative solutions to the pandemic.
Supposing we hit the body with a tremendous, whether it's ultraviolet or just very powerful light, and I think you said that has him in check, but you're going to test it. And then I said, supposing you brought the light inside the body, which you can do either through the skin or in some other way.
And that you did not orchestrate a months-long coup attempt that culminated in a violent insurrection to disrupt the peaceful transfer of power and install yourself as an unelected dictator. And I don't believe that you spew deranged conspiracy theories about everything from climate change to immigration to vaccines to windmills. And I don't care that you were impeached twice or that you're a convicted criminal felon. I just don't.
This was a sham-rigged political show trial from the very beginning.
This is the most outrageous travesty I've ever seen.
This was not law. This was not criminal justice. This was politics. This was a political smear job.
I guess we all need, to shop at Banana Republic from now on? Because that's what it feels like. Yeah, a Banana Republic.
Now, I don't believe and I don't care that you're banned from doing business in the state of New York for 3 years. I will do business with you. I will move to New York just to do business with the Trump organization. Or I don't think that you should have to pay the $500 million in business fraud fines because you're innocent. And I don't believe that you took millions from foreign governments while you were president. So to top it all off, I believe President Trump when he says he's not a rapist, he's not a thief, he's not a grifter, a liar, a philanderer, a narcissist, a glutton, a bully, and a complete ignoramus. And I don't believe he cheats at golf.
Absolutely false.
Donald Trump was fired up at his press conference today after being accused of cheating at golf. Today's Washington Post quotes rocker Alice Cooper calling Trump the worst celebrity golf cheat ever.
Thank you, Mr. President, for being a good Christian leader dedicated to truth and justice for all. By the way, I would let my wife have your children. Thank you.
Bravo, good sir. That is some incredibly brilliant satire, as is clearly evidenced by the replies that this is getting on the internet, with people thinking it's real for some reason. Probably MAGA supporters, the ones thinking, oh, this is real, because they probably feel the same way and believe it. But most of them saying this is absolutely hilarious, very well written, very funny, gold, all of the like that. And I think our boy Alan Thomson deserves some really American support here, so please go check out his stuff. Quickdive.net is his website. He also has a YouTube channel, as I mentioned earlier, and a TikTok page. He has more pretty funny videos like MAGA Fake News, QAnon Edition, all these different satire skits. But I think this one connected so especially because of how ridiculous it portrays MAGA idiots and their constant pandering to Trump despite him being one of the worst human beings on planet Earth. Like the way that they can just run with all of this and still think he's a good Christian moral leader. It's mind-boggling. Which leads us to where I'll conclude this video with another equally dystopian story of MAGA disbelief, rather belief in all things false to a fault, where they actually called for a mistrial of Trump's felony convictions based on the speculative evidence of a now proven false Facebook post from an internet shitposter.
Folks, major breaking news on the Trump verdict out of the rotten apple. A New York Supreme Court has just notified, or the New York Supreme Court has just notified Judge Juan Merchan that someone identifying themselves as the cousin of one of the jurors posted to the court's Facebook page that Trump was going to be found guilty. This happened one day before the verdict was announced.
Yep. And they ran straight to the teleprompter with that story, despite the guy who posted it, Michael Anderson, literally telling everyone to take it easy, he's a shitposter. Which in internet culture is defined as the act of using an online forum or social media page to post content that is of aggressively, ironically, or trollishly poor quality. So I think, in honor of Alan Thomson's hilarious skit, and this latter humiliating incident of MAGA lies serving to construct their alternate reality, that it is finally time we change the MAGA slogan to Make America Gullible Again, because that's exactly what they're doing.